There's never been a better time to have SiriusXM, with even more exclusive content that you can't find anywhere else. Like over 140 channels in your vehicle, including the widest, deepest variety of music, ad-free. Root for your team anywhere you are. Get news from every source. Listen to whatever makes you laugh. And hear all about your favorite stars and what's going on right now. And now, your all-access trial includes more than ever before to enjoy online, on your phone, or at home on devices like smart TVs, connected speakers, and more. First time, create your own ad-free personalized stations powered by Pandora. Hear ad-free extra channels filled with music for every mood, occasion, or activity. And enjoy a backstage pass to your favorite shows with SiriusXM Video, including Howard Stern. Not to mention thousands of hours of shows and performances on demand. The best part? It's all included in your all-access trial subscription. Start enjoying it all in your vehicle, on your phone, online, and at home today. What you love is on now.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. And thanks for tuning into this special CMA Live edition, as we're going to bring you some footage and some dialogue and interviews from exhibitors straight off the showroom floor of Knowledgefest Orlando. That's right. These last few days, Knowledgefest is back, and I mean back in person. This is not no virtual event. They are gathered in Orlando, Florida, getting their learn on, training, exhibitor booths, and everything of the like. So big news, Knowledgefest back in action. So of course, us here at CMA found a great opportunity to connect with the folks at Knowledgefest. And of course, we're going to have Chris Cook with us, who's the president of the Mobile Electronics Association. And I believe they've set up a booth that we're going to be able to interview some of the key exhibitors that are there today, just get a feel for what's going on, what we're missing. Now, of course, here, us Canadians, I'm going to put a sad face on. We're not there. None of us are, unfortunately. But you know what? At least this is a sign of things to come. And hopefully the future is bright later on. As time progresses, we'll be able to get our butts down there to the upcoming Knowledge Fest. I'll let Chris talk about the rest of the schedule. I know he had a big announcement. And let's get to it. So let's see if we're all connected here. We're going to go live to Mobile Electronics Knowledge Fest. This, of course, is CMA Live presented by SiriusXM. So let's get there and see if Chris Cook is ready to talk to us. Let's go. Oh, there you are.
Ben, are you in there? Ben.
I am here.
Oh, hey.
I'm in virtual world. I'm in virtual world. I'm not in Orlando.
You know what? I miss all my Canadian friends. The fact that you guys can't come, at least we can try to give you a little bit of a treat. And I'll make a phone call, see if we can get you hooked up for Dallas.
You know somebody at the the border?
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. Oh, absolutely. I got friends in all sorts of strange places.
Oh, good. Well, I'll tell you what. Regardless of that, the facts are the facts. None of us, myself and the rest of the industry up here, obviously we want to be down there. We can't. So we're there in spirit. We're very happy that you guys are back. So congratulations on your first in-person show. I have so many questions for you. I know we got other guests, but I have you on, Chris. What's the mood like, man? Well, how's it feel?
Man, I tell you, it's like being back home and out of the basement. I mean, you know the thing. It's just really hard to be isolated. I mean, human beings weren't meant to be isolated, and we've been that way for quite some time. I know a lot of the retailers in Canada haven't had the opportunity like we have in the U.S. to be able to be open, and it's been tough. But that isolation, the moment I got here, I didn't realize the impact I was going to tell them I'll be back in a minute. I didn't realize the impact it was going to have on me personally, just to see everybody. And, it's like a big family reunion after a really long period that I don't even like to discuss. But I tell you what, I can't wait to have all my Canadian friends and family back. And Ben, I can't wait to have you here live. I'm glad we were able to do a little bit of a treat.
I've been watching all the coverage. I saw the live that you did the last 2 days. Been talking to our friends that are actually at the exhibit, and it's like, first of all, just so you know, the feedback that I've gotten is that the expectation was set at a certain point as far as spectator attendance, and everybody has told me that the spectatorship has exceeded their expectation.
It exceeded my expectations. And, I don't want to say I had low expectations. I always have high expectations of our industry. But you know what? I knew we had pretty extraordinary circumstances, and we got right out there at the beginning. There was just 2 weeks ago, everybody was still in masks down here, in the convention center and places like that. Florida's been kind of open for a while, but that just stopped a couple weeks ago, right before the show. So we timed it perfect. And I tell you, it feels normal, absolutely normal here. And man, I tell you, when you get the opportunity to share that experience, an upcoming event, I can't wait for you to have that feeling.
I can't wait to come down. We got a bunch of Canadian guys tuning in right now. Got Marty on there, Sudbury Car Audio, Rory from Kenwood. Yes.
Hey, how you guys doing?
I could probably put Sirius XM here too, Rory, if Anyway, the next guest might be able to help me out with that. Chris, before I let you go, I know we got a lineup of guests we want to talk about. Is there anything that you had to adapt for your first in-person show, or did the trainings go off the same? Just give an idea of the overall. For those
everything was absolutely normal. If you were here, you would think that COVID never happened. That's how normal it is at the event. And I didn't know what to expect either. All of us had a little bit of trepidation. That's a Canadian word, right? But
yeah, yes.
Hey. So, I didn't know what to expect, but it just feels right.
Perfect.
And I tell you, it's going to feel
those moments in the hallways and at the bar, the networking opportunities. That's what I miss.
Man, look. I like to say, they say COVID transmits when you have a handshake, so we just grab each other and we don't shake. It makes it a little easier. I don't know. But the restaurants have all been great. Everybody's very hospitable. The hotel here has been fantastic. Convention center is very welcoming. Everything. I got to tell you, if COVID did one thing, it cleaned up everything. Everything just smells clean. Other than having to use the hand sanitizer everywhere. I don't know. I used that before, so it's not much different. But Ben, and I know you're going to ask me this, but I'll get right in it. We're going to be doing this show at the end of August in Dallas. We moved Indianapolis to the end of the year in October, so there's an opportunity there. I know it's a little tough to get from Canada to Indianapolis, but we got a new show that we're going to start, or we're going to kick off 2022 with, that I'm sure there's going to be a few Canadians want to drop in and say hi.
I'll tell you. Well, I'll let you say it. The venue is just something that really draws us Canadians. There's no
it's Vegas, baby. There's no other place. It's the mobile electronics industry back in Las Vegas. And you know what? We did exhibitor selection yesterday, and it's going to be a full show floor. It's going to be something like we've never seen before.
So let's recap. So right now you're in Orlando. You're going to have Dallas, right? That's
correct.
In July, August, July, August.
It is. So Dallas is the end of August, 27 through 29, yeah.
Then you got Indianapolis, which is, I guess, your northern show for the U.S., right?
That's our north show. So October 8 through 10.
And then the big announcement, February 2022, Las Vegas, and also with that, the Mobile Electronics Awards.
You got it. Industry Awards in Las Vegas. What better place to celebrate? We're going to be celebrating your accomplishments for the entire year of 2021, and then awarding those that were deserving to get those awards in Las Vegas. I don't know any other place to celebrate than Las Vegas. So we're looking forward to that. So next year, you'll have Knowledgefest, starting in Las Vegas, then to Indianapolis, then to Orlando, and finishing in Dallas for the season.
Okay.
And with that, there's plenty of opportunity for everybody in your shop and everybody in your store and everybody in the industry to participate and enjoy learning, and hanging out with all your friends.
I got to tell you, I know already the Canadians are like, oh my God, February, Vegas. Yep, we're there. No doubt in my mind.
Yeah,
No
we'll
doubt
have the
about it.
information up next week on the website. So.
All right, so we don't want to keep everybody waiting. So you are right now on the showroom floor. You got a little.
Oh, I am
set up?
absolutely. Yeah,
Okay, so
I'm hanging out right here.
We're gonna hear some bass, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, just a little. Before I go, you know what? I'm just going to do this real quick because I did it yesterday and it did it
This is
quick.
live, folks. What you're watching is live, so I don't know what's gonna go on.
So I'm just going to grab the camera the best I can.
There you go.
Here's your next three guests right there. Hey, look at that! Look at that!
It's a
We got
private
the
bar.
Sony booth with their Sony new ES head unit, which is phenomenal. You got Vox over there. You got Metro right on the other side. Amp right on the other side. I got the big MEA wall here, but I mean,
Yeah.
we're here. We're here and we're loving it.
Amazing.
We're here and we're loving it.
Well,
So-
let's. What do you say we get a couple guests on so we can get a feel for what's happening at this show, so that guys get all pumped up to get to the next one? How's that?
All right, back on, and I'll get you there. Paul Truman is here in the house.
Truman from Sirius XM.
So let me drop him on here. Then I'll talk to you soon. They can already hear you. I know.
All right.
Everyone can.
Perfect.
Ooh,
Awesome.
very
This is fun,
professional.
guys. This is fun. I'm happy to be doing this. What's
Hey
going on,
guys,
Paul?
how you doing? How are you? I've come all the way to Orlando to be on a Zoom call. This is fabulous.
Yeah, well, no, this is no Zoom call. Come on now. Come on now. I'll tell you, the first and foremost thing I'd like to mention, you're dressed sharp today, sir.
Yes, it looks very similar to your attire, sir. I don't have the hat up.
I don't know who your bespoke couture is, but I definitely commend him.
So, how are you? How are you doing? I'm surprised you didn't come here. Oh, that's right, you can't.
Oh man, I'll tell you. I was talking to Ricky. We always talk
Yeah.
to Ricky, and obviously, it's going to happen at a certain point. The Canadian contingent will be down there. We're going to be there. CMA Live, Sirius XM, boom. We're going to cover the whole thing. But until that
Yep.
happens, we thought this would be a great idea to kind of connect with key vendors that are there, and kind of give us us Canadians an idea of what to expect. Because there's a lot of Canadians that haven't been to a Knowledge Fest yet. So I want to kind of, give them a glimpse such that we can flip that switch and say, you know what, we're going to come to one because it's worthwhile. So let me ask you, Paul, you're a big, partner with MEA and obviously Knowledge Fest. Why do you think these events are so important for the industry?
I have to tell you, I mean, just being here and being able to do it in person for this one, I think is extremely important because obviously it's the first event in person for our industry that's happened since COVID. But this, I truly believe, are some of the best events that you can actually come to because you're interacting with all the vendors and all the dealers at the same time, and all the individual trainings that all these dealers get to go into, all at the same time. Just the interaction with different dealers and different vendors, like. I think the impact it makes when everyone gets back to their real world shop and business, I think there's so much learning going on, and it's just great for the industry.
Yeah, I'm already jealous just hearing those words coming to your mouth that I'm not there. But when it comes to Sirius XM, you're such a, it's a big brand that touches so many different people and so many other brands that Sirius XM collaborates with. Whether it's in the head unit category or something like Base Technology. I know Dennis Hopper's going to come on soon. I mean, as a brand, you have to be there to support your partners and network.
No, absolutely. We like to say we're agnostic. We like everybody. We're not in competition with anybody. We just complement everybody's product. We complement Sony. We complement Alpine, Kenwood, Fosgate. We complement everybody and help make their product more, exciting for the consumer. And when you look at everything we do, our mission now is to kind of talk about our 360 platform, which takes SiriusXM to the next level. And I know you've had Ricky on here and we've talked about it, but actually seeing it in person and actually seeing what the one button does, it's amazing. It's so much fun.
A lot of the times when we're messaging SiriusXM, we're talking about SXB 300, we're talking about how easy of an upsell it is. But when you're at a show like Knowledge Fest, you have the opportunity to learn from the pros on how to best not only sell it to the customer in real time, but there's something to be said about that peer-to-peer engagement that you can't learn on a Zoom call.
Right, exactly. And it's just, I know it sounds silly, but it's the touchy-feely stuff. Being able to go in, touch the products, have the vendors actually tell you exactly I was just talking to Dennis off to the side, and he just looked up his name, who said, you guys do more than just the Toyota Lexus product, and Ace has been out for so long doing the Series X and add-ons. And Dennis was just like, no, I mean, it works with all these different products. So that now going back to the shop going, now have that option yourself. That's great.
Yeah, I'm just gonna ask you to repeat the last part of that because that bass kicked in so hard I lost it.
Oh, sorry. I was just saying that, when you come to the person, whether it's with, Ace or Green, they go back to those shops with so many it's very cool. Now, and I will say the most important thing, and the thing I've been seeing over the last year and a half has been these legs. People have legs and actually have hands on here. It's amazing, because we've spent as dealers and vendors the last year and a half looking at this much of everything.
Imagine, like, such a novel thing.
I know.
and you can now confirm that we do wear pants. People do wear pants.
And, well, I am officially wearing pants. We don't know who you are.
Listen, I got so many guests to run through, but Paul, while I have you, first of all, thank you for the support. Obviously, CMA and CMA, everything we do with CMA wouldn't be possible without the support of Sirius XM. So thank you on behalf of that. Looking ahead to Dallas. Are you planning on being at every event? Is this something that you recommend that dealers do, or did you kind of pick it? What do you recommend to dealers? Because not every dealer will have the budget to be able to go to every single one, right?
So that's an interesting question because Sirius XM will be at every Knowledgefest. What's interesting is they stand together like we're showing the training's going to be the same training in each event, and the object is to hit everybody throughout the country and get more of those people that usually won't drive as far or fly as far. So the trainings will always, from what I can see, unless there's no technology coming in, figure out something here, 80, 90, 100% see, and then we can go to the so that's the other thing is
it's obvious that you're live at the show because there's all kinds of now demos going on like crazy. And hopefully, some stuff I got there, Paul, some stuff I didn't. But I think the gist of what you're saying. But you know what? Look at your top, right? Go to the one with the most people. Make sure you get us for at least one. I think it's just interact. Absolutely. Hey, Paul, that's enough, man. Enjoy the rest of the show. But we will definitely catch up with you. I know we got a bunch of sessions that we scheduled with Ricky to talk about a couple new products coming out this summer, and we'll get all the updates from him. But great to see you, and thanks for taking the time to stop on by.
Not a problem, and hopefully I'll see you in Dallas.
No, that's the plan. We'll see what happens. Fingers crossed.
All right, buddy. See you.
All right. So lots of noise coming in, but we did get the message. I mean, look, the whole idea of this whole show is that we're going to go live and we're going to talk to some of these guys direct from the showroom floor. And obviously, as this progresses and more people come on, I'm a little bit jealous. You know what? I miss shows, man. I've been going to shows my entire life. I know you guys watching have too. We need to fast forward this button so we can kind of get back to a little bit of normalcy. A little bit of normalcy would be nice. All right, let's go. Let's get back to the ME studios here at the Knowledgefest Orlando and see who we have next. Who we should have next is a gentleman representing Vase Technology who just did a session of CMA Connected with. By the way, if you missed that, go check that out. We were on with Jonathan DiMattei, their trainer, courtesy of Importel. That was just last week on Connected. But we got Mr. Dennis Hopper reporting in. Let's see. He's in the director's chair.
Yeah.
There he is. How's it going?
Hi, guys. How's it going? It's going great, man. Love being here with you guys.
I know you guys are super busy. It's the last day of Knowledge Fest. I was just saying to our listeners that if they missed it, I did this great session with Jonathan earlier on last week there, where we went through all the product, and we're going to touch base on some of that. But I wanted to encourage them to go take a look at it because that was a really phenomenal session. Definitely got to learn on there. So speaking about education, Vase Technology, you guys are on the floor with some exhibit space. Did you get some training in as well?
Absolutely. We had 3 training classes, Friday and a Saturday, and we just finished one up here this morning at really good attendance. And I'll tell you, when you really get into the nuts and bolts of what their product does, there's guys start throwing things at you, saying, "No, can I do this? Can I do that? Can I do that?" I'm like, "Yeah, you can do this, you can do that, you can do that." So it was really good because they were really, really asking a lot of questions. They really wanted to learn.
You're touching on exactly how I behaved during that session, because how we did it was we split the first half to talk about the SXM integration, right? The OEM solutions for that.
Yep.
And then the second half, there he is. Why is it I say SXM and he shows up? That's funny.
Yeah, right.
And then the other half was all about SEER, SEER.
Yep.
And that just blew my mind, and questions were coming. So I'm going to guess that a lot of questions came out of your SEER training.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we've been known for satellite radio integration for now about 16 years, ever since we started doing the first iPod integration back in 2004 with Lexus and Toyota, and then since moved into the satellite radio space, and we're a good partner, excellent partner with SiriusXM. They've done wonders for us. Customers that don't have it in their car already, ours is the go-to kit nowadays because it really is almost OEM. When you put it in the dash and work off the factory radio and the steering controls, absolutely. But when these guys heard about the new SEER, it was like, it piqued their interest. They're like, wow, we've never had anything like this, not since probably the creation of the DSP.
Yeah, wow, that's an interesting analogy. Okay, yeah, you know what? I could compare it to that because it is a little bit of a game changer. I called it a game changer on the show because, we're talking about automotive automation, right? We're talking about programmable functionality based on whatever the customer wants in a sequence that they want based on distance, which is crazy. Now let's bring it all together now. Now you're at Knowledgefest. I mean, talk to us about what dealers would have expected or experienced when they came to your booth. Were you showing them how this works in real time?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
how much advantage to that?
Yep. So my vehicle, my 2018 Silverado, is here, and we're demoing it, and that makes all the difference in the world. We tell the dealers, you gotta flagship this product because people aren't going to come in and ask for it. This product is so out of the box and so fully logical that whatever customer comes in your door, if he wants this twist or that twist, or this guy wants this function to work on his car or that guy doesn't, SEER does it all. So you have to really show it. When you show it live, it makes all the difference in the world.
And the questions must flow once they see it. Oh, can it do this? But if it does this, can it do this? For those of you that don't know, why don't you take a quick second just to talk about what SEER is?
So SEER is based off of proximity. So you have a tag you put on your key ring, and as you're moving in towards your vehicle about 15 feet away, the vehicle will start waking up. And we say waking up because you're going to turn the lights on for safety for your wife or your girlfriend. And as you get closer to the vehicle, it can turn on more things. And then right as you get right up to the door, it's going to automatically unlock it. Very similar to what the factory OEM guys do, where you have to either push a button or put your hand behind the door handle to get it to unlock. We do that prior. You don't have to do that function. The function automatically happens for you. And then as you get out of your car, you can leave the lights on for however long you want because it's programmable timer outputs to whatever you need it to be. And then as you walk further away, it's going to lock it down. It's going to chirp the horn so you know it's locked. The cool thing is that how many times have you been in your living room and you go, did I lock my car last night? And you get up there and you grab your key fob and you try to hear it beep. The cool thing is if your keys are sitting on the counter and you got a SEER in your car, you know it's locked. So And the thing is that it doesn't do just that. I mean, we got it on my 1969 Chevelle convertible, and it's a full alarm and radar sensing and ignition control door locks. I mean, when you start fathoming the things you can do electronically in the car, SEER can do it. It's got 8 inputs, so you can use those inputs to trigger stuff on the outputs. You got 10 outputs that you can literally configure however you want to do something. I mean, I was telling one of the guys in the training, he goes to a lot of car shows. He has a really nice car and he wins all these awards. And it's a newer car. And I says, Rick, what if you walked up to your vehicle and it aired down or aired up? Because you got air ride on it.
SEER can do that. For a guy with air ride,
right? It's like think about it. You walk away and rolls the windows up. I mean,
it drops as you walk away. How cool is that?
Yeah.
Like Batman moment.
Yeah, exactly. When the first day of the show, I was actually walking up to my truck and I saw a rep from Focal, And I said, hey, Nautica, I says, watch this. And I went, abracadabra, right? And the lights flashed on, and he goes, how'd you do that? So, again, these guys start thinking, and the juices start flowing. They're like, wow, I can do this and that and do this and do that. I mean, we've got fleet vehicles and muscle cars and hot rods and, emergency response vehicles all coming and saying, yeah, we need this, because Sear can actually, like, let's say on a vehicle and you've got, boxes on one side and the other, you got real expensive tools on either side. You can actually program it just to unlock the side you're on, and you got to go to the other side to unlock the other side, but that side will never unlock when you're on the opposite side. I mean, just the things you can do with it. It's, we call it IFTTT, and I don't know if you've ever heard of that acronym, but it stands for if this, then that, right? It's like, what we describe it as, if anyone's done any home theater, it's like Control 4 for your car.
You know what? You just nailed it. I was just going to say, after having done this session with Jonathan, I said, what I should have said? I come from a home base, and I remember when home automation came in. It was primitive at first, but I believe that what we are witnessing here is the beginnings of how far that's going to develop in the automotive with Steer. As far as automation is concerned, so many things you can do with it.
Yeah, and my engineers, when we designed this thing, when we got the team together, we had to look at every variable possible and the future. Like, we don't talk about it because we actually use some of the partners' database interfaces for like ADS, for like CAN bus, and like the i2 Silverado, we use them with their Alka modules to do security bypassing the locks. But we already got CAN bus built on board when we designed this thing. But then when we wanted to bring it to market, we said, well, listen, we're not going to take all this time to build the library of CAN bus modules. Why don't we just use an ADS or whoever to do that for us? Hopefully, at one point, we can actually integrate their library into our product. So now you don't have to buy two separate boxes to do the same functions. We also have an RS-485 communication port in there. Well, that could expand it to all sorts of different things. If you want more than 10 channels, or if you want it to talk to another device, like, machine to machine, it's already pre-engineered inside of this unit to go to the next step from here. We're not thinking that this is just a device and we'll put it on a few vehicles or whatever, and it's sort of that's it.
Future-proof.
Exactly. My engineer, which is part owner at Base, man, I think he sits up like hours on end just thinking about all these things, he wants it to do, not want it to do, and we've come up with more and more on a daily basis. The cool thing about Sear is it's all software based, so you can go on our website, create your own flow, so to speak, for your particular vehicle or your customer's vehicle, and then you just basically turn on your phone, send it in, and boom, it's done. And if we want to make any kind of software changes, like we've already made one software change where the other owner, half owner of Vase says, well, I leave my keys in my center console every time I fill up with gas. Well, the tag that we have, if it sits still for 60 seconds, it goes to sleep to save battery. Well, it could actually go to sleep and lock your car with your keys in there. If you're at the gas station, you go and get a Coke and you fill up your car. So we changed the software to whereas if the tag does not go away from the car, doesn't see it leaving the car, it won't lock the doors until that function. So again, software, new update, guys, just flash it really quick, done.
And that's all user feedback. As more feedback comes in, you're gonna cater to it, you're gonna adjust, and The beautiful thing about software is it's an update. We can fix that. You know what I mean?
The thing a lot of people don't realize about Vase technology, we design, engineer, and pretty much put it through its paces there in Colorado. Our engineers do everything there. We don't sub it out. We don't buy something from another country and bring it in. It's our piece. We want to know what it does. We want to make sure we can make changes on the fly and fix any issues in the field fast. I mean, if you've talked to anybody with our SiriusXM stuff, we've been literally hours from making a change because the manufacturer's made a change and we have to make a change to our software to work with theirs. I mean, I literally had one customer a few years back, hey, I've got this Mercedes C-Class in my bay, and your current software is not working. We went to the dealership with my software engineer, and within 2 hours we had him a new upgrade.
There you go. Perfect. Dennis, listen, thank you for taking the time to spend with us. I know you're busy. You probably got to get back to the booth, but I thought it was important. We saw that you were on the showroom floor. We know you did some training, and just really appreciate you coming in and talking to us a little bit about what's going on at VASE.
Yep. Hey, thank you guys. We really appreciate it. If you have any questions, just reach us out and call us or at vasetech.com. We're here for you guys to make money.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much. Dennis Hopper from VASE Technology. So awesome, man. My God. I just hear all the demos going on, and I'm curious about who's playing those demos. And, I saw that Sony booth behind there. They just launched their new full screen head unit out of the ES line, which coincidentally will actually have Chris Beulah and the folks at Gentech on with us on Wednesday. So if you want to tune in on Wednesday, we got to CMA Connected all about mobile ES. So I'm really curious. I have a lot of questions about that. That's a new thing from Sony that I got to learn more about. All right. Let's see who we have up. Man, they are efficient down there at Knowledgefest. I already got my next guest lined up. And this guest, well, no stranger to the CMA screen. I'm happy to have him back with us, representing one of the biggest brands in 12-volt Metra Electronics. It's Mr. Jason Anderson. What's going on, Jay?
I'm good, man. How are you?
You know what? It's funny. I just noticed you guys all wear black golf shirts. So when I'm looking down at my little preview, I don't even know that you changed until I look closer and say, wait a minute. That ain't Dennis. That's now Jay. What's going on, Jay?
Couple subtle differences, A
couple. Obviously, Metra, so many brands. I don't even know how you do it at one show to cover all the brands that you do. So let's narrow this down. And the first question I'm going to ask you is, what are the key products, the key messages that you've been kind of talking about this weekend at Knowledgefest that those us here, like in Canada, weren't able to come down and see?
So I'm really excited to show off one of our new Harley-Davidson interfairings, the 95-HDIF2, which, we had the HDF1, we've had HDIF for a couple years now, and that fits the street class from the 98 all the way up to 13. And now we have a solution for the 98 to 13 road glides. And it allows to get rid of that single DIN factory radio. You can put in a nice double DIN unit of your choice. You get all the latest and greatest features from all the double DIN radios that are out in the market. And one of the benefits to this particular piece is
sorry to cut you off. What was the model number, Jay?
95-HDIF2.
That's what I thought, because I happened to bring that up online. I want people to see what you're talking about while you're talking about
it. There absolutely. You go. So that's the HDIF. So that's our street glide fairing. The new one is the HDIF2. And
HDIF2. Okay, let's
see.
HDIF2.
It may be so new, it may not be on the website yet.
Yeah, maybe not. Oh, it's not.
No, not yet. That's how new it is.
We get an idea. We're talking about the full, fairing here.
Full inner fairing. This particular fairing is going to come painted high gloss black, so it's going to come in finished. And like I was saying, we're giving the customer some flexibility here. So we have two 6x9 plates as an option for your speakers, two 6.5-inch plates to mount your speakers, or two blank plates for you to add in whatever you want. So it really gives the customer, the installer, a variety of solutions to choose from, so that they can get the sound that they want. It's got a nice metal mesh stamped grille, so it's going to hold up in the weather, and it's going to look good down the road.
This is incredible. The manufacturing from Metra. I mean, that is a big piece, man. That's not like a small little box. I mean, I could just imagine the size of the box of this thing.
So, design, everything was done in-house. We went out, we bought a 2008 Road Glide to design, reverse engineer the factory piece to make sure that we were on point with this one. If you look at it, obviously you can't look at it here because you're not here, but in our booth we have it on display, we have it on a motorcycle. The seams on it, the way it matches up with the front fairing, it's phenomenal fit, and the finish is awesome.
Reason number one why you need to be there in person. You need to see the fit and finish.
That's right.
Right? You want to be in front of you, explaining it to you. You touchy-feely the whole thing, and you get it.
That's right. So after last year and a half or whatever, we're definitely happy to be back at the shows.
It must be nice to not have to virtually explain something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gosh darn it.
I see what you did there.
I'm just saying.
You should be here.
I will. You think Oh, you think it's because I don't want to be there that I'm sitting in this chair? No. let me get this right. When we can, we will be there in person, and I want to have this dialogue with you, sitting next to you, not through my computer. Right?
See,
I mean,
that would be different.
I'm gonna come to your booth, and you're gonna walk me through this, this piece, and I can sit on the bike and touchy-feely and explain to people what they're missing by not being here. That's what I want to do. But
We'll be ready.
That's another. Soon enough, it's coming. I promise.
That's right.
Okay,
We're lined up. We're lined up for all the Knowledgefest Fest coming up.
I was going to ask you that after, but sure. Are you going to be at everyone? Because I don't want to be like, watch me show up. And the first one's like, where's Jay? Oh, this is the one that he didn't come to. What?
You tell me. I'll make sure I'm here.
All right, because when it comes to Metro, between Saddle Tramp and Heist and T-Spec, I'm going to spend 4 hours just covering the brand. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, anyhow,
we have a lot. We have a lot of brands.
What else? Anything else new that you want to touch on real quick before we talk about training?
Look, as always, I mean, Metro does dash kits, right?
Mm-hmm.
We do interfaces with the Access line. Through this entire year and a half leading up to this point, we've continued development, and we've really pushed forward. In a lot of ways, we might even push forward a little bit more than normal because we've had the time to sit and focus and develop some of the new products. So regardless of what line you or our customers put focus into, we've got product coming from all of those lines. So
I'm going to ask you
we're
that
just
question.
continuing to support. Yeah.
I'm not there, but like, how do you even tackle showing a piece of every line that you have in a booth? Like, do you do that? Like, do you have like a I-beam, Heist,
We do. We do. We've got walls that we set up, and then we populate all the new products. So, and we had to get a little bit bigger booth because you're right, we do have a lot of brands.
I mean, I-beam is like 20 by 20 by itself.
Yeah, well, could be, absolutely.
Could be. I'm just saying, Heist could easily be one by itself. You know what I mean? And then you got your bad. Anyways, okay. Training. You got some training sessions. What went on?
We did. Again, because we have so much new product that we've come out with, we try to offer our dealers and the visitors to the show just that support to show that we're here for you guys and give them an explanation of exactly what the product does, how it's going to benefit them. Some of the trainings that we had was access, the DSPs, how those integrate into the factory vehicles, and the benefit to the installers and shop owners, and how it could save time and money.
And that access has really expanded in the last 2 years.
Oh, absolutely. And it's going to continue to grow, especially with the way that a lot of the factory vehicles are moving now. We need that type of integration. And that's what we continue to push forward with. So we also had, obviously, I-beam. We had Saddle Tramp. We had our Jeep line training. And then we also brought in the Installer Institute this time.
Oh.
And so we did a 1 hour training on how we can help place installers at shops around the country. And what a shop owner can expect from one of the Installer Institute graduates. So really with the show being in Orlando, it was great for Metra because as a whole, because we had just massive support here. We were able to bring the students in. We had, I think, 21 students from II here walking around with Installer Institute shirts on. They're all current students. They're all going to go out in the field, and they're going to go get jobs. And it's just important that, regardless of our brand, Metra helps support all of our brands. And this show is really the best way to do that.
Yeah, man, it must be nice having a show in your backyard and not having to rig everything into a box and send it across the country. That's for sure.
That's right.
So, nice, smart of you guys to really, hone in on the local resources that you had access to, such as your Installer Institute student. And great job. I wish we had something like that up here. That's amazing that that you have something in place to develop, the future of technicians, really. Moving forward. Okay, so I'm a dude. I got my badge. I'm walking around the show. I stumble upon the Metra booth. What would I have expected to experience at your booth?
Hopefully, there's not an overwhelming amount of product for you to be lost into.
Metra, that can easily happen. But anyhow.
but we have the guys here to help support our visitors to the booth and really walk them around and show them what's available, what's new, how it can help them in the Bay. Obviously, we have a full line of our catalogs. We got a full sales team. We got the R&D guys here, like myself, and Juan, and Stephanie. Like I said, because it's local, we were here in force, just to show our support for the industry. Make sure that we had everything covered.
What do you from what you've seen? What have people been coming to your booth asking about? I'm curious. Like, what has been kind of the main thing?
So some of the interesting things, obviously, is the HDIF2, the interfering, but in the saddle tramp line, we're really close to launching a Harley Davidson DSP that's going to
Harley Davidson DSP?
Yes, absolutely. And that's going to reflash the factory radio for the 2014 and up models. So we're really excited that we've got it actually displayed on a motorcycle. We're showing it flashing back and forth on an RTA. So that really helps drive people to the booth. And maybe, our goal is, with as widespread as Metric is to show the dealers that maybe they have another avenue here to make some money, to work on bikes with our plug-and-play harnessing, with our new DSP that's coming out, with our installation kits, dash kits, with our lighting.
Wiring, the harnesses.
Wiring.
Okay, so that's amazing that you can. Are you demoing that right now?
Yeah, we are. Absolutely.
Oh, man, okay. And is that under Access brand or Saddle Tramp brand?
That's going to be under the Saddle Tramp brand, but it's going to have the support and base of the Access line. So it's going to work through the Access app and the Access DSP app, and obviously you'll have the support and everything else of the text forwarder access.
I don't know. I might be wrong on this. I might be wrong on this, but I have not heard of another available DSP for Harley Davidson yet.
There's a couple of them, honestly. There's a couple of them. Yep. But there's we have a different way of doing things, and the way that we chose to do it is hopefully going to make the installation of the process a lot easier for the dealer.
I gotta say that you guys always have the technician in mind first.
We do.
You know what I mean? When you come with the product, it's very clear that you always. Like, how many times have I gone to you and you're a student? You are the one actually putting this stuff in. So when you say it fits, it's because you've put it in. I want to be very clear about that so our audience knows that.
That's right. We did it on their new HDIF2 fairing. Myself and Colin, we did a full installation video. It's 25 minutes long. That'll be on YouTube within a couple days. So
awesome.
It's what we're doing, what we're launching. It's product that we physically test, develop, and put to market ourselves.
And made and like done here. That's crazy. I got running out of time, but I want to ask you. So just to recap, you're going to be at Dallas. You're going to be at Indianapolis. What do you think about Vegas and Feb?
We all know Vegas. We're in Vegas for SEMA. We're in Vegas for CES. So one more Vegas isn't going to hurt.
So you're going to be at SEMA as well?
Yeah, we're going to be at SEMA as well.
Damn, back in the show business, huh? You're going to be around.
That's right.
Awesome. Oh, I could keep you here for much longer. I got other people I need to talk to, unfortunately, but now you're making me feel worse that I didn't get a chance to come down. But I will be there. We will connect in person. I promise you that, Mr.
We'll be here next time. We'll be waiting on you.
Thank you so much for taking the time, man.
Thanks, Ben. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. That's Jason Anderson from Metra giving us some goodies, that HDIF2 replacement fairing that they apparently have in person installed in the booth. So for you motorcycle guys that think that, these products are not, I hate the word plug and play, but if you watch Jason's videos, they're pretty darn, well thought out as from a technician standpoint of installation. And if I was there, I'd definitely be able to kind of touch it, see it, and see how the fitment is and ask him all the questions. But hey, that's why we're doing this. We're trying to find out what we're missing down there at Knowledgefest Orlando. All right, we have our very next guest. Again, I can actually call him a veteran of the CMA screen at this point because we have spent many an hour talking about the great products over at ARC Audio. And if we're talking ARC Audio, I got to go to my man, Fred Lynch. What's going on, Fred?
What's up, Mr. Ben? How are you?
Oh, man, just with every passing interview, I'm sitting here looking at myself sitting in a freaking chair at home. Not down in Orlando, but, what are you going to do?
Hey, you know what? The weather's been beautiful and a little bit more humid than we're used to, but
Yeah, but that's okay. That's okay. That's what the pools are for, man, and the water slides and stuff.
Yes, sir.
I see Rich Disclafani. What's up, Rich? Nice seeing you. Aren't you at the show? Aren't you working your booth? Rich from ZZ2 just logged on. Okay, so, Brad, first in-person show. I know that we've had lots of moments during this dark COVID times where we were, complaining and other words of expletives that I won't be using right now. But now here you are, talking to dealers, in person. How does that feel?
It's big in the last 18 months. It's nice to get out and see a little bit of a change of scenery and start getting face-to-face back with the dealers. Mainly get a lot more personalized feedback. Yeah, we've had phone calls, we've had web conferences and stuff like that going over for the past, almost a year and a half now. There's still nothing better than that in-face person-to-person opportunity, and it's nice to see a lot of old faces and a lot of new faces too. Turnout's been pretty good. A lot of people just really looking to get out of the shops for a little bit, just even for a couple days to take a break because they've been busy. But there's still nothing better than that hands-on, face-to-face experience that we all try to go through, and allows us to cater better to the dealers and give them more information. Most importantly, we're in the audio industry, and this face-to-face opportunity is something that's irreplaceable when we're trying to get these guys into cars and actually let them listen to what they're missing. I mean, there's only so much you can do to promote sound through a paper advertisement or something online. So
100%. So I know you're a meticulous planner and a strategist. So tell us, for folk who didn't get a chance to come down, what was the focus at the ARC Audio display this weekend?
So we actually scaled things down a little bit. We usually bring a big display, but we wanted to actually go back to our grassroots, which was about our competition team, sound quality, performance, something that's going to back where our grassroots were. And in this case, we brought down two of our cars that we had from the Aggieland Money Round Invitational event that was in College Station 2 weeks ago. One of the cars took first place out of a single class that had 42 cars in it. It was a one-all, bring-all opportunity. We brought Brian's car down, and then we also brought another one of our cars, which has more of a realistic day-to-day install, which actually took fourth place out of all the cars.
What
we're
kind of gear in these cars? What kind of gear in these cars? Just real quick.
So one of them is all our reference high-end ARC Audio RS series, the Signature Edition amplifiers, our Pro Series DSP, RS speakers, and so on. The other one is all X2 series, which is our go-to product line, as well as with RS speakers, Black Series subs, and of course the Pro Series DSP. So we were showing two completely different levels of install. One's realistic, the other one is, balls to the walls, over the top. And we're sitting here just basically dragging people in and out of those cars. We brought down the award with Brian's name on it for the second year in a row, and we're showing people what we're all about and giving them an experience they can go home and remember.
Oh, that's amazing. So for you, it was all about realizing that, we're finally going to be in front of people. Let's get them in the freaking car so they can hear the product instead of just talking about it.
Product only looks so good on a table or on a display. It's a different deal if you actually get to hear it. And, music is about emotion. You can't create motion without hearing it, and that's what we're here for.
Amazing. So what's some of the feedback that dealers have come into the booth and, they haven't seen you, they're here, they've been itching to probably say something. What have they been kind of dialoguing with you about?
Well, of course, getting them in the car and out of the cars, the first thing we're obviously seeing is, they're coming out with smiles from, basically that grins from ear to ear, and that's exactly what we want. And, the fact that, they continue to keep coming to us for this same experience, when you get people saying they haven't heard anything like this on the floor, they haven't heard anything like this anywhere else.
You mean they're circling back?
They're circling back. We've had people coming back. We've got people that are going and grabbing other people and dragging them over saying, you got to hear this thing. And, that's refreshing that we're becoming a target audience for, for these dealers, especially with so many different opportunities with other brands and stuff, even here on the floor, to go out and have other experiences as well. So,
you've heard me say this before, and this is not a paid message from Fred to me by any means, but like ARC Audio, This is not the big, huge on marketing brand. This is the come listen to it. Here's our digits to back it up. But at the end of the day, you need to hear this to believe it. And once you hear it, your level of confidence for the sell-through is very high. So that's very interesting, and I can't wait to have that opportunity to actually sit in some of these cars that I've seen come by. You know what I mean? Like, I know exactly what cars you're talking about, and I didn't realize that I would maybe one day actually be able to sit in one. That's kind of neat. That's kind of prospecting for me.
It's all about creating emotion. From day to day, it's what we live on. It's what we thrive on. We're creating emotions with music, and everybody's got their flavor. A good system can reproduce just about anything, and that's what we're about.
And I mean, obviously, you're walking through people about the DSP, and also, are you using your Bluetooth player, or is this coming off like what's the source?
Actually, we're doing multiple sources. So in both cases, both the vehicles have OEM source units. So we're actually demonstrating how good things can sound from an OEM source unit with the right kinds of integration, as well as also high-end reference digital media players as well. So we're giving people multiple levels of demonstrations to show them what is capable of our product with the integration technology, and at the same time, what is possible without a bunch of marketing fluff, bells and whistles that some other brands like to promote. We're leaving it to facts, we're leaving it to results, and we're letting people basically, instead of reading an instruction manual or a specification sheet, we're letting people use their ears to pass that judgment for themselves.
Yeah, that's a great philosophy. I love that. I'm pretty excited to actually have that opportunity. Was there anything new that you hinted on at the show that we want to talk about real quick, or of late, maybe not new, but of late that finally people can actually see and touch?
So, as we had been on with you guys before, we had sneak peeked into the initial announcement for our A-Series subwoofers.
That's what I was getting at.
Yep. And we actually have the A-Series subwoofers here. In fact, they're in the car that took first place at Aggieland too, and we're letting people have a chance to demonstrate the power of those. We've also had our new CX6 series speakers here as well for people to take a look at and play with for our motorcycle line. And of course, we've been able to go into much more depth and detail on our newest updates with all of our new DSPs and all the advanced features that we're releasing for the guys that are really tweaky and like
you're showing them. You can sit down and show them this in the booth.
Yeah, we can actually sit down, connect it. We can actually sit down and connect it into the car, put it in a laptop, let them go through the software, ask questions as they're going through it, and at the same time, most importantly, from a lot of these guys with a ton of experience, we're getting feedback as we thrive off the feedback, because that's actually how we look to our dealers, look to our customers, and look to our high-end enthusiasts who have these experience levels to give us the feedback and help drive us towards more features coming for the near future.
Did you say your winning vehicle is running shallow, limited, like space subs, your A-Series?
The A-Series, it's running a single A-Series 10. The one that took first place at Aggieland runs a single A10 in the front of the car.
I'm not dreaming. That was the limited, like the shallow mount, small enclosure sub, right? That we talked about?
Yeah, it's in about a half a cubic foot.
Right. That's what he's using?
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be cool to hear. All right. I don't know, man. Like,
hey, you're only an airplane right away. I mean,
yeah, I got a small thing called the border I need to deal with.
Come on, little things.
Bro, you understand? I got my passport. I got a 10-year passport. I got a Nexus card. At airport, I do an eye scan. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all done. That's not the problem. Anyways, we're not going to get into politics here. The point is, I'd be there if I could. I can't, so we're just going to talk about it for now. Other than that, anything else you want to talk about as far as the show? I mean, what about those? Okay, here's what. Before I let you go, what about the restaurants and the drinks and the bar? Come on, I'm missing that. That must have been cool.
Some things are better left not broadcasted on the air. But
that means it was really good, and I missed something.
For anybody who didn't come, like I say, I get there's some reservations by some people still to travel. There's still nothing better than that in-person experience. It's safe. Everybody's doing great here. People are cautious. People are being careful. Even though things have opened up, there's a lot of responsibility from everybody here, and we're all trying to be responsible to give the best experience. But yet, nobody's going home with any unwanted, passengers or infections or anything like that. But you know what? We've had a great event so far. Obviously, we could always wish for a bigger and better turnout. but there's a lot of things just being at the shops and doing web broadcast you're not going to get if you can get in this in-person opportunity. And I would say definitely I encourage everybody out there to come out to the next event out in Dallas. It should be bigger. It's going to be better. It's always a great event. There's always a lot of great brands on the floor, and there's just a vast of information and, most importantly, networking, not just during the show but after the show. And, well, not going to lie, a couple trips to the bar in the evening also kind of helps build those relationships. And from a dealer standpoint, you know what, you guys get out there and you meet all these dealers, you do your communications with them, you make new friends, and those dealers also become resources for you when you have that car you have problems with, or you have that new technology that maybe they've worked with and you haven't. And you, lo and behold, you get friends in other countries and other states that become a key and intricate resource to the success of your operation.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. With this event, you don't have a lot of international visitors either, right? I mean, basically none. But as time passes, that's going to come back. There's no doubt about it. I mean, we see it. People logging in from South America and Europe and all this stuff. They want to be there, but obviously they're not. But they will.
And I'm going to say it is a noticeable effect with the lack of Canadian representation here, as well as
of
also
course,
from Mexico that we
never
typically
the same
see.
Without us. What are you talking about? Of course.
Hey?
Right? That's like a car stereo without DSP. Come on. It's not the same. It's just not the same.
Exactly.
All right, buddy. Thanks for taking the time, Fred. It's always a pleasure seeing you and talking to you. And man, we'll be connecting soon, and hopefully we'll see each other in person soon.
Definitely, Ben. Thanks a lot. You too.
Take
Thanks.
care.
All right.
Oh man, Fred Lynch from Arc Audio. Man, they have two competition cars in their booth. That is something I would definitely love to spend some time sitting in and hearing. Fred is really good at teaching and explaining things, but to have the tools in front of you and the result immediately in front of you as you're listening real time, that in itself for me would be worth the trip. So Arc Audio, some pretty cool stuff. And wow, the new A series small shallow sub that's actually installed in that competition car, that is something else that it's kind of got my curiosity piqued. All right, one last guest before we wrap it up from Knowledgefest Orlando. Of course, we're coming to you live. We've partnered up with the folks at Knowledgefest and MEA. They've got a little booth studio down there. We've been talking to guests all day, whether you're watching this live or on demand. Just wanted to give you some perspective, touch base with what's going on out there, see what Knowledgefest is all about, and give you guys a glimpse so that hopefully whets your appetite to get down there one day. All right, let's get back to the studio, where we're going to be talking about some DB Drive. We're going to be talking about some Euphoria. We're going to be talking about some expert level stuff with the expert man himself, Mr. Ernie Welch from DB Drive. What's going on, Ernie?
Ben Wu, what's going on, brother?
Not as much as you, man. I wish I was. After talking to all these guests, all my friends here, like, shoot, man. But why, it's great. I'm happy that everybody's there. Whoever's there is having a good time. It must be nice to connect with other peers, other people in the industry, and of course your customers in person, isn't it?
Sure. Well, that's good. And when you get to this level, this caliber of a show and this type of event, what you start finding is, you're right, you see peers that are from other companies, and what's great is you bring in a dealer base that is kind of that dealer that's looking for more information, that's finding out different ways and creative ways to do that. And the companies that are here, and I hope that includes us, the companies are here and the customers are here, they're creative, they're kind of finding all new ways to do things, and then get the education that they need to find out, hey, what's the best way to make this product work to its maximum performance?
We've spent so much time virtually. I'm at that point where I want to see the stuff, touch it, feel it, hear it. And of course, if I was there, I'd be able to do that. Why don't you talk to us a little bit about what dealers would be experiencing if they came by the DB Drive booth?
Well, we got a full setup showing all of our brands. So fortunately, we've got everything from the start-off levels to the high-end stuff that everybody's looking for. Hypnotic's a brand that we're featuring here. We've got some entry-level product there. It's more price-oriented. But what we've done with Hypnotic, Ben, is we've grabbed that price-oriented type product and put a lot of the features and benefits around the marketing and the promotion of that you typically see in some more high-end type products. So, there's no internet. There's support for the dealer base that either goes through distribution or through direct dealer business in itself. But what's really exciting here that we're talking about is a lot of that expert series that you touched on earlier. We've talked a lot about that. We're going to continue to talk about the new things that are coming here, as well as the DB Drive product that is that loudspeaker, that motorcycle, that UTV, that super high-end performance type speaker, and the ways that product works in different vehicles. That's what we've been talking to a lot of the dealers that are here, is just how they could utilize that on their showroom floor to find the best ways to show that to a customer that maybe didn't know that product even existed. To say, hey, I'm trying to do this with this product and it's not getting me where I want to be, but this seems like it's a solution, and they're finding out that there's ways to present that to the customers walking in their store. So the dealers that are coming here today, looking at our booth, they're seeing that product that just hits that whole range of whatever they're trying to capture in their stores.
Hey, that's a great segue. You know, you and I, we're going to connect back again a little later this week on Wednesday during our CMA Live.
Yep.
We're talking about Pro Audio, and we're going to be talking about all those solutions that you have for those customers that want it loud, right? But not just great sound quality, but volume. And there's a market for that. And I think you're seeing that feedback, especially maybe in Orlando. Maybe it's because it's a regional thing. What do you think?
Well, I think you got a lot of things there. You got regional. Is a big part of it. You have cultural, which is a big part of it. So you go to different regions around the North America, and you start finding different places that are used to doing audio maybe in a certain way. And through events like this, and then also the marketing and things that we do as companies, helps that dealer to start recognize, hey, they're doing something really cool down here, and how can I bring that into my store or in my area or my region and make that work for me and find a new profit center. You know, it's not always about just getting on a bandwagon. It's about saying, hey, I'm seeing what's working, and I'm finding ways to utilize that and turn that into something that my customer really is going to be satisfied with. At the same time, I'm going to make some money doing this. And I think, like you said, regionally.
Isn't that the point?
I don't know about you, Benwu. That's the only reason I came here today, is I want to make some money. That's the only reason I'm here.
Like, you know, I love it and everything, but if we make money of it, what's the point, right? I mean, that's the whole thing. What you got some rides in your demos in your booth right now?
We do. We got a really slicked up Harley that is just customized from top to bottom. I'm talking rims. This thing is just a beautiful, beautiful ride. Completely decked out, all expert. So we've got the amplifiers, we've got the speakers, and we're giving some demos on that thing and letting people walk up and hear what this stuff is capable of. And it's funny because you find out that the customer, the retailers here walk up and they're impressed with not only what that does, but then of course you get to have a conversation with them and you start to explain to them that we're scratching the surface of what something like this motorcycle can do, or what the product that's on that motorcycle can do. There's so much more capabilities. And what I love about seeing the dealers here is you see the brains start turning. They're like, already the creative juices are flowing. They start recognizing, hey, I can take that and I can make that work in my store. I can make that work for my customers. And that excitement, that passion starts happening right away.
You know what I like about you, Ernie, is that you bring that sales element. You know what I mean? I've had on the show, you know, product developers, trainers, right? Engineers. Tell us about why this is so important from a sales experience perspective for dealers to attend a show like that.
Well, I talk about sales because I don't know anything else. I don't know anything. So, but now, the reason it's important for a dealer to attend a show like this is there's a lot of reasons, but I'll hit on a couple of really important ones. First of all, that I know COVID's been a thing and what's happening, but the connection to the manufacturer is something that I would encourage any retailer, whether you're buying direct or you buy through distribution, try to maintain that relationship as tight as you possibly can. Whatever product you're buying from anybody, there is value and there are resources that companies like us, we want to provide that information. We want to give that training. We want to give that aspect of how to sell this. We want to provide more information about our product and ways that it can be utilized. And every manufacturer here is doing the same thing. So the value to coming to the show is, first of all, to deal with those manufacturers. You also get to be on the front end and the cutting edge of what's coming in the industry and what's coming from companies like us. Well, we're going to show you new product. We're going to talk to you about the things that we're having developed in 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, all the way down the line that we're going to be bringing out. So you get to bring that information back to your retail location and adapt and adjust to what you want to present and how you want to run your store. It is a ton of information that you can bring from these events, but at the end of the day, you come to these events and you talk to people like me, things like DB Research, so that you can make your retail location, you can make your sales team, you can make your installers the best in your community, so that your customer base knows that you are the people when it comes to finding the right audio solution in whatever ride, whatever vehicle, whatever situation you want to be in. You become the expert in your community for all this type of product.
Because they're connected directly to the manufacturer, and they got the line of communication open. Yeah, 100%. Makes a lot of sense.
Yep. And we want to be here to support that dealer base. We want to be here to show them that, hey, we're not that company that is just behind this logo and then we disappear. We want to show them, hey, we're here to support you. Hey, we want you doing a great job. And then also for us, the value of being at events like this is give us the feedback. What trouble have you had? What's not working? What do you need to see more of us from? What issues have you ran into in the past year and a half? Because we've been traveling actively since summer of last year, but some of these stores in different parts of the country have had, in North America, they've had to shut down, or maybe they can't be open fully, or they've been open and closed, so they have a different type. So what can we do to help you work through that? And that feedback is tremendously valuable.
I got one last question before I let you go, and that is, what have you been hearing from dealers? What do they want? What do you feel is a trend or need or what they're asking for that maybe you don't have right now, or you see a trend starting to develop?
So that's a tough one, because I think you would get 10 different answers from 10 different people if you ask that. So it's a really smart question to ask. But what we're seeing is we're finding customers are looking for products that provide a non-traditional environment-friendly solution to where these people are trying to put audio. I'm an old guy, Ben, so when it happened back in my life, we were throwing 212s in a trunk, screwing an amp to the back of a box, and we were super happy, and we just built our stereos and systems from there. What we're discovering is, especially as our generation is aging, we're going out and we're finding our adult toys. Pardon my little punk, but we're finding our fun stuff, right? So we're going out and we're finding our Jeeps, we're finding our off-roading vehicles, and we're doing things in our homes, and we're wanting to bring what we want back. There's a reason that things that have a heritage or a tradition, if you look outside of car audio, things like toys and things like shoes that go back to retro styling that we all loved in our generations, that stuff is huge right now. Because we want to kind of bring back, while we have the dough right now, we want to bring back that fun and that we remembered having with those types of things. Do the same thing with our audio. We're saying, hey, I've got this cool toy. I want to now take it and maximize it. And I remember that I used to have these 12s. I remember I used to have the stereo. But it's not always going into the family SUV. Now it's going into that jet ski. It's going into that motorcycle. It's going to that four-wheeler, that UTV, whatever toy you have. So the dealers are saying, hey, I got people that are coming in, but I can't get this woofer to work. I can't get this amplifier to do what I need it to do. I just can't find the solution that customer is looking for, whether it be the volume, the sound quality, or the environmental issues that are coming with this. So we are working every day to find more and more of those solutions until, frankly, the next trend comes along and finding out what we need to do to adapt to what the next trend is. But right now, that is strong. People are enjoying their toys. They're taking time out, and they're maximizing the fun that comes with that stuff. And we're happy to be part of it. Yeah,
and that's what we see. I mean, that's right aligned with what we see. Dealers asking questions. We diversified our shows to cover everything. It's not just car audio anymore, man.
Right.
Power sports and marine and every other category, bikes,
right?
You name it. So yeah, great stuff.
That's it.
Ernie, man, thank you so much for taking the time. We'll let you get back to your booth, but thanks so much for taking the time to join us today.
Happy to be here. Love talking to you, Ben. Let me know what I can do for you.
I'll see you on Wednesday, buddy.
All right, thanks, Ben. We'll see you.
All right, that was Ernie Welch from DB Drive. Of course, you saw me mention we are on live with him and a couple of the great brands as we talk about Pro Audio this Wednesday on CMA Live. That's at 8 p.m. Eastern. All right, so what did we learn? We learned that, darn it, I wish I was there. We learned that there's some great training going on at the shows. We learned that the vendors have, spared no expense. They brought the vehicles. And for me, that's always been a big draw for shows, is where else are you going to see and be able to sit in these demo vehicles with the brand that they can walk through with you, what you're listening to, what are the settings, what are the tuning settings that you're doing, what kind of DSP you're running, what kind of power, like all those details are right there. And between all that we discussed, it's a no-brainer, man. Us here in Canada, we don't have the opportunity to go right now, but you can bet that CMA will be part of some type of event coverage once we are able to. Anyhow, I'm not going to take up more of your time. Thank you for those of you that tuned in or watching this on demand. This is a special live coverage edition of CMA Live coming to you from Orlando Knowledge Fest. We'll be back to our regular programming. So on that note, thanks for tuning in to CMA Live, presented by SiriusXM. I'm your host, Ben Wu. Until next time, we connect.